Hey everybody, welcome back to the Modern Stacker. Today we're going to be looking at another reason for stacking silver bars, but before we get into it, I first want to take a moment and say a huge shout out to the Constitutional Stacker for plugging this channel and just inviting his community to come and join. It's been awesome. Actually, thank you so much for all of you coming over, and I'm glad you're here for the party, and yeah, stay well and listen. So without further ado, let's kind of kick this video off by looking at some charts, and let's look and see kind of where silver's at right now. So today is Friday, the 16th of December, 2022. And so right now we're going to start with silver. And as you can see, we're still kind of in our bull run right here. We can zoom in a little bit and you can see we've got this nice upward progression. Oh yeah, my drawing's there. Let's get rid of that drawing. Go away, drawing. Goodbye. So there, oh, it's still there. Go away. You're so invasive. Yeah, I love how it wants to just do this to me right as I get started here with this video. Love it. Be gone. Okay, good. There we are. Trend. Okay, so but you can see here we've got this candle that's kind of like beginning to challenge us. Now let's maybe look at this a little bit closer here. I don't know if you've ever used TradingView or if you've ever looked at the MACD, which is it's an indicator that shows the moving average convergence, divergence. And as you can see, it shows some really strong, some strong indicators right here. But this usually indicates like a potential pullback. What is probably going to happen is it's going to test this. And here's why. Because this blue line right here, this, that is the 200-day moving average. So basically all of the numbers calculate over 200 days. This line is what's tracking that. So you can see essentially what we're above the 200-day moving average, which is a good thing. When it goes above the 200-day moving average and it keeps on going up, that typically signals that things are going to continue to go in that direction. But it does reach a point where it needs to challenge it a little bit. It's like, hey, did we go too high? And that's where you have then this other indicator, which is the relative strength index, which allows you to kind of see like, okay, is this in the kind of the sweet spot in terms of like a price? You know, it's like if it's high, it's, you know, kind of on the expensive side. If it's on the bottom of this, it's in the kind of the cheaper, more cost-effective side. So using these two indicators, you can kind of see whether or not things might be pulling back. So what I might be expecting is that this, you know, silver is probably going to dip a little bit. But depending on how the strength of the market is, it may go up or it may come back down to the 200 and, you know, kind of find a little balance. It just depends on what's going on in the markets. And so, you know, I'm even seeing a little note here. Gold faces worst week in 4 as Fed hardens inflation stance. So let's look at gold for a second. All right, so let's minimize this here. So we are looking at gold now. So yep. Gold hits the 200-day moving average and it's being challenged. His worst day. You know, I love how that note. Gold faces worst week in 4. Yeah, gold faces worst week. I don't know if I call that the worst week. I'd say if it's actually doing better than it has been doing. So, yeah, I think that's that headline is maybe a little bit misleading. That's why you look at the charts, right? You look at charts to get a better indicator of what's actually going on. So anyway, that's maybe where I'll leave this. I could get into a whole video on doing the charts on this stuff, but and maybe one of these days I will, but that is not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to talk about another reason for having silver bars. So that first part was for free. What I wanted to talk about today was silver bars being used as a means for hedging against the coming inflation and basically providing yourself as a kind of a cash reserves in a situation where you might actually need to have cash on hand. So let me just take, for example. So I think in my previous silver bars video, I was saying that you can, you know, you basically would, a smart idea, again, not a financial advisor, but a smart idea is to kind of look through here and find, let's be consistent here. It's on the same page. Let's look at 10 ounces. Okay, we're looking at 10 ounces. Should you buy a Royal Canadian Mint for $3.24, or should you buy a 270, one of these 10-ounce Pioneer metals for 274. Personally, again, not a financial advisor, just a dude on YouTube and just sharing his ideas. But here's a bar that's on sale for 274. That's like $50 less. Okay. And Modern Stacker's not great with math, but you can generally see that's like $50 less. Okay. Why spend an extra $50 on the Royal Canadian Mint when you can have the exact same amount of silver for $50 less? Okay. So that's common sense item number one. But if you're purchasing this lower premium silver and keeping this on hand, if you ever need to have silver on hand for the purpose of, like maybe the market is really bad and it's like maybe there's not just a recession, but say even a depression, like people have been suggesting that could be where we're headed. And if that is what's going on, if you have these 10-ounce bars that you're able to then exchange on as needed basis, you can be storing these up on the cheap by comparison to this and having a stockpile of reserves that you can use in an emergency case situation. Now, as a stacker, that's not why we stack this stuff. We stack this to have for the long game, right? And again, going back to my previous video, one of the another advantages of stacking this, cheap silver is to essentially kind of build up a collection so that you can, ultimately exchange it for gold, because gold is where the real wealth is at. The wealthy have gold. The silver is the common man's currency. So if you listen to Silver Star Eagles, he has a lot of thoughts on that. Love his viewpoints on it. But the point that I'm getting at is ultimately you want to try and get as much gold as you can, and you can do that by stacking silver. However, you can also be stacking silver from the standpoint of as a financial protection for you and your family. And in the season that we're entering into, that's probably not a bad idea. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about today in this video. And I just wanted to let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let me know if you agree with this. Let me know if this is something you're doing, and have you thought about this before? One other thing I saw in the comments below was Hero Bullion. Someone was mentioning Hero Bullion. I have seen this site before and I actually really like it. I haven't actually bought anything from them, and I'll show you why. Let's see, silver bars. Let's see if it proves my point here. 5 ounces. It's not too bad. They have a smaller quantities where that was the issue I ran into. It's a smaller quantity, but when it's in stock, because that's the other issue, the stock issue. They're a smaller dealer. They have a really cool website, but they're a smaller dealer. But if you can find stuff in stock like this Germanium Mint bar, ooh, that's a temptation. I love Germanium Mint. That would be a really this site's fantastic. I've heard really good things about Hero Bullion from other stackers, so definitely check them out. That cat, oh my goodness, what the heck? That is a cool cat. Let me know in the comments below if you agree that is a cool cat. I mean, geez, it almost looks like the twins that Constitutional Stacker picked up. Are these related? Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. So cool. Well, I'll wrap this video up here. I probably rambled on long enough, but anyway, really appreciate you coming by, watching this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're new. This community is growing, and if you're part of another community, mention me on that community. Let's get them over here, and let's get this party started. So anyway, really appreciate you watching. Hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.